Reba McEntire's rise to fame began far from Nashville's bright lights. Born on March 28, 1955, in McAlester, Oklahoma, Reba was the third of 4 children in a rodeo-famous family. Her father, Clark McEntire, was a champion steer roper who won multiple world titles, while her mother, Jacqueline, had once dreamed of being a country singer. Life on their 7,000-acre ranch was rough and modest. The family lived in a 3-room house with no indoor plumbing and no phone until Reba was in 5th grade. Still, the hard work of ranch life and the musical influence of her mother created a foundation that shaped her career. Reba's earliest performances were in church and school, and by 1st grade she was already singing in Christmas programs. Her childhood was simple, but it planted the seeds for a lifelong love of music. The singing McEntire trio, family, music, and early success. By 9th grade, Reba and her siblings formed the Singing McEntires. The trio performed at rodeo events and local talent shows, and they quickly became known for their tight harmonies and strong stage presence. Their first big win came at a 4-H talent show, where they took 1st place, and later they recorded a rare tribute song called The Ballad of John McEntire, honoring their grandfather. Only 1,000 copies were made, making it a prized collector's item today. Reba also became famous for singing the national anthem at rodeos, and one of these performances changed her life. In 1974, at the National Finals Rodeo, country singer Red Steagall heard her sing and knew she had something special. He approached Reba's family afterward and offered to help her start a career in Nashville. It was a moment that would redefine her future. Moving to Nashville, sacrifice, struggle, and determination. In March 1975, Reba and her mother packed up and moved to Nashville. They left behind the ranch and the rest of the family, driving 670 miles in a modest car with little money and no guarantee of success. Life in Nashville was difficult. They lived in small apartments, worked odd jobs, and spent long hours waiting in record label lobbies. Jacqueline became Reba's emotional anchor, supporting her through rejection and long auditions. In November 1975, Reba signed her first record deal with Mercury Records, but success didn't come quickly. Her debut single, I Don't Want to Be a One-Night Stand, failed to chart, and her early albums performed poorly. Reba struggled financially, often earning as little as $50 per show. Still, she never stopped fighting for her dreams, even when the industry tried to reshape her sound. The battle for authenticity, pop pressure, and artistic frustration. During her early years at Mercury, Reba faced constant pressure to adopt a pop country sound. Producers wanted a polished, mainstream style that Reba felt didn't reflect her roots. In 1981, her album Heart to Heart leaned into pop, and it disappointed both her and her fans. The album's success was limited, and Reba grew increasingly frustrated. By 1982, she was at her breaking point and considered quitting music altogether. Her 6th album, Behind the Scene, failed to produce major hits, and she felt her career had stalled. After 8 years of hard work with little reward, Reba parted ways with Mercury Records in 1983. At age 28, she faced uncertainty, but she refused to give up on her passion. She was determined to return to her true country sound. A turning point, Can't Even Get the Blues, and first #1. Everything changed for Reba on January 8, 1983. Her song, Can't Even Get the Blues, became her first #1 hit, but the story behind it shows how hard she fought for success. Mercury Records initially planned for another singer to record the song, but Reba insisted she could make it work. Her producer doubted her, believing she was better at ballads. Yet Reba persisted, and the song became a breakthrough. The moment she learned it hit #1 was almost surreal. She was stranded on a broken-down tour bus when she received the news. The upbeat track proved she could succeed in multiple styles and opened the door for her future success. It also marked the beginning of her transformation from struggling artist to country star, the MCA era, finding her voice and reinventing country. In 1984, Reba made a bold move by leaving Mercury and signing with MCA Records. She paid to end her contract, risking everything to gain creative freedom. At MCA, she met label president Jimmy Bowen, who allowed her to choose her own songs. Reba and songwriter Don Lanier listened to hundreds of demos until they found hits like Somebody Should Leave and How Blue. Her first MCA album, My Kind of Country, released in November 1984, returned to a traditional sound and became a major success. Reba's authenticity resonated with fans and helped spark a return to classic country in the mid-1980s. From 1984 to 1987, she won the CMA Female Vocalist of the Year award 4 years in a row and became a leading figure in country music. Her emotional storytelling and powerful voice made her a star. The red dress moment, a shock that changed her image. Reba's public image shifted dramatically on September 29, 1993, at the CMA Awards. She stepped onto the stage in a bright red velvet dress designed by Sandy Spica Borchetta, covered in over 2,000 crystals. The gown featured a daring, plunging neckline, and the sight shocked the conservative country audience. As she sang Does He Love You with Linda Davis, the dress became the headline. The next day, 37 newspapers ran stories about it, and fans were split between admiration and outrage. The controversy sparked debate about modesty and tradition in country music, and Reba's image transformed from wholesome good girl to bold and glamorous. Even her own family reacted strongly, but in the end, they supported her. The red dress moment became a turning point in her career and helped establish her as a fearless performer. Reba the TV star, from sitcom success to Broadway. In 2001, Reba became a television star with her sitcom Reba. The show premiered on October 5, 2001, and quickly became the WB's top Friday night program, attracting millions of viewers. The story was daring for its time, featuring a woman whose husband leaves her for a younger woman while her daughter faces pregnancy. Despite concerns that it would upset conservative viewers, Reba's charm and humor won the audience over. The show ran for 6 seasons and ended in 2007 with 125 episodes. During the same time, Reba continued her music career, releasing albums like Room to Breathe and touring successfully. She also starred on Broadway in Annie Get Your Gun, earning praise for her performance. The success of her sitcom expanded her influence beyond music and proved she was a multi-talented entertainer. Personal tragedy and triumph. The 1991 plane crash. One of the most devastating moments in Reba's life occurred on March 16, 1991. A plane carrying 7 of her band members and her tour manager crashed into Otay Mountain near San Diego, killing everyone aboard. Reba wasn't on the flight. She had stayed behind due to illness. The tragedy left her heartbroken, but she turned her grief into music. 6 months later, she released the album For My Broken Heart. The title track, originally intended as a duet, became a solo anthem of loss and healing. The album became her first double platinum release and included the emotional song If I Had Only Known. It became one of the most personal and powerful works of her career, and it helped her and her fans process the pain of loss. Love, divorce, and reinvention, a personal battle. Reba's personal life mirrored her professional struggles. She married rodeo champion Charlie Battles in 1976, but as her career grew, their relationship weakened. By 1987, Reba admitted she had chosen her career over her marriage, and their divorce was finalized just before her 32nd birthday. In 1989, she married her manager, Narvel Blackstock, and together they built a business empire with Starstruck Entertainment. They had one son, Shelby, born in 1990, and Reba became a devoted mother while continuing her demanding career. Yet their marriage eventually ended in 2015, and Narvel received nearly half of her fortune in the settlement. The divorce forced Reba to take full control of her career for the first time, but she remained strong and resilient, continuing to perform and inspire fans. Reba's bold activism, standing up for rights and equality. Reba's willingness to speak out has sometimes cost her fans, but she never backed down. In 2015, she publicly supported same-sex marriage, saying she couldn't understand why anyone would oppose it. The reaction was fierce, and a boycott page gained thousands of followers in days. Yet Reba remained steadfast, posting a rainbow logo on the day marriage equality became legal nationwide. She also supported the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020, and though many unfollowed her, her career remained strong. Her honesty and courage helped shift public opinion, and she inspired other artists to speak out. Reba also fought against sexism and ageism in country music, challenging radio stations and the industry for ignoring female artists. Her activism proved she was more than a singer, she was a leader. Legacy and influence. The country legend. Reba McEntire's legacy is defined by her talent, resilience, and willingness to reinvent herself. She has had more than 20 #1 hits, multiple Grammy nominations, and a lasting impact on country music and entertainment. In 2011, she was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame, becoming one of the few artists to score a #1 hit the same year as her induction. Her influence also extends into business. Her clothing line and restaurant ventures have proven her success off-stage. Despite controversies and heartbreak, Reba has remained a powerful figure in music, television, and culture. She transformed from a small-town girl into a global superstar and a symbol of strength, proving that staying true to yourself can change an industry. Conclusion. The good girl who became a rebel. Reba McEntire's story is one of perseverance, courage, and transformation. From singing in church programs to becoming one of country music's most iconic figures, she faced rejection, tragedy, and criticism, but never gave up. She fought for artistic authenticity, challenged industry norms, and used her platform to speak for equality. Her red dress moment symbolized her evolution from a good girl to a bold rebel, and her music continues to touch millions. Reba's legacy is not just her awards or sales, but the way she changed the face of country music and inspired generations to stand up for what they believe in. She remains a true legend, unafraid, unforgettable, and always Reba.